Welcome to another Friday night. It's the Rundown. I'm your host, Antonio. I'm coming to you once again from my basement here in the beautiful city of Lapeer. Amen. It is now April, and we're going through that roller coaster of weather still. We're getting towards the end. The weather is kind of turning better, and then just when you think you're out of the woods, we have like a 30 degree or a 40 degree high wind, light snow, just a terrible mess. So it's not really conducive to anybody that's training right now, and I give you tons of props if you're still staying after it, getting your mileage. And this is going to be a little bit more Q&A, a little bit more interactive. So if you are training for something, drop it in the comments. I want to give you a big thumbs up. I want to follow you. So make sure you post what race you're doing, when it is. I want to add it to my calendar so that I can check those results and give you a shout out here. I think one thing that I want to become better at is just giving kudos and letting other runners and walkers know, listen, I love that you're out there. I am proud of you. You guys are crushing it. Keep going, keep pushing, keep doing the hard things, not asking the hard questions. That is a different podcast. But keep doing the hard things because we see you, I see you, and I am hella proud, and I think it's awesome. So no matter whether or not your mile is a 6-minute mile, a 10-minute mile, a 15-minute mile, or if you're just out there doing your comfortable walk, hell yeah, keep crushing it. I love it. So I talked about earlier on my Instagram this week about starting something new. I'm going to call it 0 to 10. And when I get some shoes from reps or maybe something that comes out new, I'm going to do from the box to 10 miles and really put some hard miles on them and see how they feel. So this week, I was lucky enough to get granted the Cloud Boom Echo. No, I'm just kidding. This is the Cloudmonster Hyper, which is kind of a hybrid between the Cloud Monster and the Cloud Boom Echo. So it is kind of Cloud Boom Echo-ish, but what I love about this shoe is that there's no carbon plate, there's no nylon plate. It's you putting in the work, but this is a shoe that is for everybody. So one thing I look at with super shoes are that you have to be pretty efficient to get that energy return. I think when Nike first came out, you had to be running a 6-minute mile or something pretty darn close to get the full effect of that 4% energy return. I'm not saying that super shoes don't work, because I do think that they give the average Joe 1 or 2% more energy return than they would in normal shoes. But what I want to bring to the table is a shoe that has no plate, that has no extra bonus stuff. It's just a hard-working shoe that's going to give you some similar energy return. It's not going to be 4%, but this shoe's fun to run in. One thing that I noticed in the 15 miles I threw on it was that the toe spring on this bad boy is unbelievable. Somebody that's not ideal body style like myself, that puts a lot of forefoot pressure in their shoe or on their foot, could use this shoe, because On decided to take a P-Bax foam or bounce board and put it right up underneath that metatarsal. So it's that white colored foam you see there. And that's really giving you that extreme cushioning paired with high energy return. So this high mileage trainer is going to bounce you from mile to mile and keep you going with good energy return and soft cushion. The other thing I just want to point out is that for so long, I'm going to go ahead and set this down now because otherwise I can just hold it all day. The other thing I want to point out is that for so long, On has focused on, being a narrow fitting, more minimal feeling brand. And over the last couple of years, they decided to I don't want to say throw all that stuff out the window, but they've really listened to what people and customer feedback has been, because now they're producing high cushion, very responsive shoes with a wider last, or at least a footprint with more room. I know that when I came into Complete Runner 5 years ago and came on board, my first pair of shoes was a Cloud Flyer. And that Cloud Flyer felt amazing. It was awesome. It was something that I've never had a feeling like that before, but it was also very minimal. And you know, On still continues to do that a little bit in their shoes, giving you less of that cushion up front, more in the heel, and that's purposeful, because as runners, we want to have that explosion off of our toe or metatarsal. So with having minimal cushion there, it gives us the maximum energy return. We're not having to go through all that level of foam to compress and then expand back and give you that explosion off the toe. I do think that in certain models like this model here, the Cloud Eclipse and the Cloud Monster, they have a little bit more cushion and a little bit more of that compression. It's not a bad thing. I just think that if we're looking at shoes that ultimately we want to be able to go fast in, might not be the ones, but they make for great trainers. Again, for people like me that are just logging long miles in that average zone, I think shoes like On's Cloud Eclipse, the Cloud Monster, I think now that we're talking about the Cloudmonster Hyper, with the exception of that being able to pick up pace a little bit more with that new Pebax Helion and the HF bounce board, I just think that those two foams there for On blended together put this shoe in a separate silo. So On, I know I'm rambling and I apologize. Those people that are not techie, I'm sure you've tuned out by now, but On has positioned themselves with 4 silos. I think the two I'm thinking of is speed and forward, and this shoe tends to fall in between those two, with the Cloud Monster being in the forward and the Cloud Echo, Boom Echo 3 falling into that speed category. So if those two had a baby, this is what that shoe is. So if you have followed along that long and listened to my crazy review of the Cloudmonster Hyper, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. For those of you that tuned out, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do my best and educate and hopefully bring some cool stuff to the forefront that you might not know about. One thing that I want to do besides give you guys kudos on upcoming races is I also want to ask the question of, what was your first pair of shoes? For me, as a novice runner, not knowing that shoe stores like Complete Runner existed, I went to Kohl's and I picked up a Nike Free, because Kohl's and Nike do a really good job of highlighting running on their callouts. So I walk in, I see Nike running. I thought, wow, amazing. I need the shoe. Worst decision in my life. At the time, I thought that was probably the best shoe for a 200-pound runner, and I put probably way too many miles on them. I knew that the 500 rule existed, but I didn't know how that worked. So I just assumed every shoe was 500, and I would cook those Nike Frees down to like absolutely nothing. And if anybody knows the Nike Free, those early models, you could literally bend, and there was like 100 slits on the bottom, and those little slits made it so that that shoe could flex in any direction, and it was notorious for getting little pebbles or rocks stuck in between those flexes when you would run, and boy did you feel it. But I'm asking this question because I think with the evolution of shoes, it's interesting to see where we start and where we went, or where we're going, because shoes just keep getting better. And as somebody that has been in running for 10 years, not even run specialty, but just running, I've noticed that shoes have a purpose. So I used to think one shoe was the do-it-all, but now I'm understanding, and I'm hopefully educating other people, that there is a fast shoe, there is a marathon shoe, there is a race shoe that might not be a marathon. There's also a hybrid shoe that does a little bit of both, but there's long distance shoes, so they're purposeful. And I think that the more that we can get that point across, the better experience you'll have as runners and walkers, knowing that the high cushion stuff might be better to keep our knees back, feet feeling better, while the minimal stuff is a little bit better for the speed, again, because we're not having to have that energy travel through all of that foam. So I want you guys to think on this. I want you to look back at your photos or memories and take a look at what that first shoe was. Let me know. Let's have some fun with it, and let's see if we can't go down memory lane and see where we started and where we are now, because that's pretty cool to look back. I have one buddy, his name is Joel Shankster. Hi Joel, if you're watching. He brought in a original Cloud Surfer, and it was awesome to see how that thing was probably a brick. Like, I mean, at the time we probably thought it was really light, but now if you hold it, it feels like a brick compared to the new Surfer, which is like paper light, and it doesn't have that really stiff rubber outsole that the old one had. So it's just cool to see that evolution, and I think like you should investigate your own evolution and see where you were and where you are as a runner or walker. So I am getting towards the end of my training, and it has been a struggle. Now that we are into April, I have completely lost my mind. Prior to this, I was like, heck yeah, I got this 24-hour race coming up in May. I'm super excited. If anybody wants to follow along with my journey, I am doing the, oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart here. I am doing Island Time, which is a 24-hour ultra. It's a 2-mile loop. You do as many 2-mile loops as you can in those 24 hours. And sorry, I'm bored myself. Late night, burning the midnight oil here at the Rundown. Anyway, you do as many 2-mile loops as you can in that 24-hour period, and I don't think it really sat in to me or sank into me until right now, like this month, April. Because before it was just, hey, keep putting in the work, you know, May's not here. But now that we're creeping into that May, it's really settling in. And it had me also wondering, and another question that I hope you guys are still tuned in and can answer for me is, what do you do with your pre-race, like, I don't want to call it fear, but, you know, the anxiousness, the excitement. I don't know that I'm alone in saying this, but I mean, I get nervous. I'm nervous now for a race that's 30 days away, and it's really creeping up on me. Like, I'm not afraid that I can't do it. I'm just, you know, afraid to get there, or what am I going to do in those moments when it's tough? I know, like at marathons, I'm usually pretty calm up until maybe the day or two before, and all these early morning runs are really starting to catch up to me. I'm really calm, like up until the night before, and then it's like that 24-hour rule where it's like just like, I don't know what to eat. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't sleep. I'm up I'm up late. Just like nervous energy. You know, the morning of, it's hard to wake up because I didn't get good sleep. My stomach's kind of acting up. So, you know, like what do you guys do? Am I alone? Am I the only one that goes through this? Because if I am, then I gotta talk to some serious help. But if I'm not, like what gets you through it? What are you thinking? What goes in your mind pre-race? You know, is there a ritual? Are you guys, you know, eating the same banana? Are you guys, or yeah, I guess it wouldn't be the same banana. Are you guys eating the same food? Are you guys, drinking coffee? Are you guys, going to the bathroom an hour before? I don't know, but for me, it's always different. So just curious on your guys' take. Let's kind of share that energy and see if we can build off each other, or maybe somebody's got a great way to be calm, and maybe we can all benefit from that and have some great races coming up. So the last thing I want to leave you with is, as I talk to many of my friends, they're experiencing the aches and pains of marathon training, and I want to say it's okay. There's two friends. I'm pausing because it's tough, and I'm gonna get real right now. Marathon training and ultra training and half marathon training, all that good stuff is tough, and it can really be awesome at times because you can see how far you've come as a runner and walker, but it can also really beat you up, especially when things aren't going your way. So I have some friends right now that are going through some really tough times, and I want them to know that we all care about you, and that we all know that it's tough to put in the work and feel like things are going great, and then all of a sudden that switch turns, and things aren't going great. And even if you're in a dark spot right now, those dark spots don't last forever, and you have really good people that care about you and that want to see you every Thursday out there running with us. So I know your bodies are hurting, and I know that the miles are adding up, and it seems like hell, but I want to tell you that we're proud of you, and we're all here together. And I know this sounds super cliche, but it's something that I've been telling myself and telling some other friends that I've been running with, is that there are people out there that would beg for the pain that you're in right now. So, the friends that are dealing with the serious injuries that aren't running at all right now, I completely understand. But the ones that are still out there doing it and might be discouraged about pace or distance, just don't be. Because like I said, there are people out there that would beg to feel that pain, that would beg to know what it's like to run 3 miles, whether that's a 5-minute mile or a 15-minute mile. I oftentimes on my long runs think about people that are in wheelchairs that will never have the ability to even get up and do what we do one day. So keep doing what you're doing and be proud of where you are. And for those that are in the deepest trenches right now, just know that I'm praying for you, and I hope that there will be a light at the end of that tunnel soon for you guys, and you guys can have some peace. But until then, just keep chugging along. I'm here. Feel free to reach me on my Instagram, my social media accounts. You can email me at antonio@thecompleterunner.com. I will be more than happy to take some time out of my day and just chat with you guys. And if I can, if you're local, I'd love to grab some coffee or tea or whatever you guys want to do, and just let you know that I'm here and hear your story, because this is more than just running. This is about good people and community, and I just want everybody to have the opportunity to do what they do. So until next time, this is Antonio saying good night, and hopefully this hasn't been too bad of a podcast to watch, and I really appreciate all you guys watching and supporting me. So love you guys. Have a great night.